Good morning everybody, I'm starting this vlog at work, so it's a bit unconventional where I'm at. Where the hell is she? I don't know. Um, in the basement. I've got work today obviously, so fingers crossed it's actually a good day. I'm a bit hesitant to say that yet, I don't know. We've not been on a good track record recently. But this evening, hopefully going to be going out because my friend is visiting from Newcastle. I haven't seen her in a while, so I'm quite excited. And I hope you can hear me over all of the machinery in the background. But yeah, fingers crossed it's a good day. Right, I'm all dressed. I'm ready to go meet my friends. Black lace top, I don't remember where it's from, but yeah. And then brown corduroys, Urban Outfitters special, obviously. Makeup, sort of smoky eye look. Dead boring. My eyebrows look really good today though. Oh, I'm really sorry, that's such a dirty mirror. I feel a bit naked though because I've put my hair back, and I tend to only put it back like for work when it's greasy, but obviously it's still greasy. I'm not washing it tonight. So yeah, here's the outfit. I'm gonna have a blast. Good morning everybody. Welcome back to my laptop's perspective. Are we sure to be back here? Probably not. It's Tuesday. So unusually, I'm not on campus right now. Usually I have my little module that I audit. However, I just really did not want to leave the house today. I was having one of those, like, God, the thought of leaving the house actually makes me want to be sick kind of days. And to be honest, I'm so tired. Like, I got home last night at like 10-11 p.m. Like, it was not very late. I set my alarm for 9 to get up, and I was just like, I can't do this. I've still been having on and off headaches occasionally, and I don't know what I've done to my lower back, but it really hurts. Like, the muscles feel like they're in knots. And there's the thought of having to walk all the way to campus, which is an hour. I was like, nope, I haven't got that in me. To sit outside, and I think it's windy, and that just was gonna trigger my sensory things. Like, I can't sit down with my hood up or my headphones on. That's just rude. And I was just like, oh, you know what, leaving the house just isn't for me today. I'm still home alone. I have been since Friday because Jack's been at his parents', which has been quite nice actually. I quite like being home alone. And I'm just thinking about how I've decided to cover 2 shifts this week. So I've got 3 more shifts yet at work, which is going to be 8 hours on my feet. And I just don't feel like my lower back's got it in right now. I think I really maybe need to go to the gym or just do some stretches and things at home. I need to do something about it because it's been like 3 or 4 days now, and like just sat here, cross-legged, sat up, my back hurts so bad. I don't know what I've done. It's probably a lack of movement and sitting here cross-legged that's fucked me over maybe a little bit. I don't know. But there's definitely something to be said about maybe needing to move our body some more. So kind of ironic that I've actually decided to stay home and do nothing. But I also could not get literally any library bookings this week. I don't know. I guess it's exam season for everybody. So literally every single room that you can book is booked. I tried, there was nothing. And I mean, I get it. Like, when I had exams, I wanted to be sat in the exam room too. So, or the like library room. So, you know what? Maybe it's a sign I should just stay at home. That's all I'm feeling right now. Signs that being at home is the best option for me today. And so I'm saying all that to say I still have my meeting with my supervisor today at 2:45. We just changed it to an online meeting because I was just like, sorry Andy, I'm not leaving the house today. And he was like, oh, that's okay, I'll talk to you later. I was like, sick. I'm basically currently trying to make notes of stuff I want to talk to him about in my meeting. Obviously, I've got my to-do list, which I would say I've successfully done. I downloaded NVivo the other night. I don't know how to use it, but the software's on my laptop, so we're one step closer there. I've also redrafted out my introduction. I made a new plan for what the whole research is going to look like. What else I do? I did a lot of reading. Like, I feel like I'm in a good position. I've got some questions because if you watched my vlog last week, I was saying how the module that I'm auditing is going on like a field trip to Cresswell Crags, which is in Sheffield. I've now found out by having a little Google. And it's like a Paleolithic site. It's got like a gorge. It's got caves. It's got cave art. And I was like, I want to go. But I was looking through like the what would you even call it? The safety thing that every time you do like a trip or something, you have to fill it out, and it's like students to staff ratio, all of the like safeguarding and stuff you thought about in advance, all this stuff. And it says on there the number of students going, and all of the students who are listed are just under the taught student section. And there's 0 students under the research student section. And I'm a research student, so now I'm concerned I'm not invited, which I'm going to be quite upset about. If I have to pay to join, I will, because I want to go. It looks awesome. And I also looked at the gift shop and I've seen some things that I need to bring home. So I want to go. We also have this thing at uni called Skills Forge, which I don't know if everybody uses it, or who's like enrolling it into their departments at the moment. I'm not sure, but I'm using it. And basically it's a way for you to upload, and for your supervisor to upload, details about all of your meetings. It's also, I believe, where I'm going to have to upload parts of my work to be reviewed and read for assessment. So it's a pretty important application, and I've uploaded a couple times now on it, like at least up until Easter, of all of our meetings we've had. And I keep getting all these emails that are like, here's your reminder that you've got until the 4th of April to have your next supervision meeting, because it just thinks that we're not meeting regularly enough or whatever. But I've uploaded everything, so I need to ask my supervisor, like, have you uploaded your side of it? Because I'm a bit concerned that it's going to get me in trouble, and I don't really feel like I can be asked with that when we're literally having a meeting nearly every 2 weeks at this point. Like, we spend a lot of time together. Skills Forge, I don't need you to shout at me about that right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here, try figure out some of the stuff I want to talk to him about, double check if there's anything else I can do before we talk, and then we'll have that meeting. I think it's in about 2 hours yet, so I've got time. I would be at that group session right now, he'll be teaching. I'm a bit sad I didn't go though, because we were doing the outdoor like experimental archaeology, so we were going to be playing with like ochre and stuff. And that sounds like such a good time, but the travel, the outdoorsy section, like, I just didn't have it in me today. I just needed to stay at home in my pajamas. I think that's also partly because of the 4 days at work. Like, I worked, what did I do? Sunday, worked, Monday, worked, Tuesday, uni, Wednesday, work, Thursday, Friday, off, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, work. And I just don't want to do it today, actually. I'm fine, thanks. I'm fine. And speaking of work, yesterday, it was an interesting day because there was like 0 customers the whole day. Like, I think we only had 100 people visit us, which is pretty dire. And I don't know, I love everybody I work with, but you know, there's certain concoctions where you're like, that was a blast, and certain ones where it's just it's a day at work, you know, and it definitely was a day at work. All love to the people I work with, obviously, but I think especially when you have like a group of people who you're very good friends with at work, and then people who are your colleagues. When you're on a shift with your colleagues, that's a very different vibe to when you're at shift with your friends. So I don't know, it felt like a long day. I did have a nice time out last night though, because I haven't seen Amelia since like the beginning of the year, because obviously she's not at uni anymore, so she's at home. But it was really nice to see her and hang out, chat about nothing and everything. Lots of oh my god, do you remember when? Do you remember when? About like when we were at uni together, which is crazy to say. It feels like we should all still be here in like 18, I don't know. But we were laughing because this week is 3 weeks since we did our excavation, which I'll put some pictures here. What happened on that? We found fuck all. I nearly got killed by a cow and trampled. I got wind burn on my face, which looked fabulous. But we did make friends with some people who we're now still friends with, and so that was probably the only positive, you know, making friends making friends in the trench. And by trench I mean metaphorical and literal, you know. It was good to look back on. Wouldn't maybe do it again though. Right, so I've just been looking at the NVivo stuff, and there's like a skills lab on the 13th of May, like a Wednesday, to go, and it's like 2 till 4 o'clock, so a bit awkward middle of the day kind of time. But I'm working, So I've just been online to see the shifts of like other managers and team leaders to be like, can anyone swap with me? And literally, it doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to swap. And that's really frustrating because if I don't go to this research lab, then I'm not going to learn how to use the software that I need to use to do my whole fucking research. And like, at the minute, work has been frustrating me because it feels like, because I agreed to do like 2 days a week, which I know kind of sucks, but I need to do my fucking work. It feels like I'm just shoved in to kind of supplement where everybody else can't work, which is cool, but it means you like have zero priority on like what you need to do unless you've like previously booked it off. And obviously it's like I really need to be there and do my work, but I didn't know about the skills lab until right now, so obviously I haven't said I can't work. And I'm just really stressed now, like stuff like this is what makes me want to quit my job. I'm just like, I just want to be able to do my work without having to worry about my other work, you know? Like, even though I think a 9 to 5 is probably really boring, sometimes I'm like, imagine no stress of like other things interfering with stuff you need to do. It's like, you know, you got to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then all your free time you know about. But when you work a shift job and a flexible university degree, it's just like, when do I ever actually get to choose what I'm doing? Like, it's supposed to be flexible, and yet it feels like there's no choice. So I'll keep you updated on that, but I've signed up to go to it, so I don't know, we might have to do some serious shift shuffling or something. It's just so annoying. Like, why are you unavailable? Why are one of you working and the other one's listed as unavailable? Can you all just be free to help me out right now, please? Right, I just finished my meeting with my supervisor. It was pretty alright, to be fair. I feel like recently every meeting we have is just us going, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Do you want to do that? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, did you do what we spoke about last time? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, cool. But basically, we've got to a point now where we're like, you just need to start writing that literature review. I spoke to him about the thematics and if I want to do themes as my discussion. And he's like, if you think that's the best way to approach it, then do it. I told him about the NVivo lab skills workshop. And he's like, yeah, sounds like you need to go to that. Fingers crossed, I should hopefully have that sorted with work. My manager said something about a triple shift swap, so I might be working Saturday instead of Wednesday. I don't honestly care. Like, maybe that's selfish, but I don't care what other people are doing. I got shit to do, so let me go do it, you know. But also, lots of love to everybody who's willing to move and sacrifice and change their weekly situation to fit me. Obviously, I actually appreciate that. But I'm also like, I've just agreed to cover 2 people's shifts this week to like accommodate for people's uni work or whatever. Like, come on, let me do the same, you know. Just because I'm on a 2-day a week thing and it doesn't feel that serious, it actually low-key is. Like, it's £5,000 worth of my pocket money and 1 year of my life. That really matters. So guys, help me out with that one, please. So yeah, we spoke about that. We're gonna basically, next 2 weeks is lit review. I got confirmation I'm going to Cresswell Crags. Get in. He was like, you know, as far as I'm aware, if anyone's auditing or sitting in on my module, whether you're a taught student or not, you are one of my students and you should attend everything. And I was like, sick. Funny to say that after I just didn't come to his lecture this morning. But he was like, oh, how are you doing? And I was like, honestly, I just feel like I can't leave the house today. Like, and I just kind of spoke to him a bit about how I was feeling. He's like, you know, I think you made a good shout. I said, thanks, Andy. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's very understanding. He's a very good supervisor. I like him. Which reminds me, I forgot to tell him that I put him forward for an excellence award. My excellence supervisor. Like they do one, I think, I don't know if it's I think it's not departmental, it's like the full university where people can put forward members of staff for like excellence awards. So I recommended him. Why not? I think he's great. But yeah, oh my god, anyway. Just need to start writing this literature review. So replan it, start writing it, attend the NVivo course. And then in just over 2 weeks' time, we're going to have another meeting where we're going to talk about what I've learned at the NVivo course, if it's definitely still something I want to do, and basically how far have you got with a lit review? Can you start writing the methods anytime soon? And because basically I think it's How many weeks? Yeah, it's about 8-ish weeks until I go on holiday. And then I'll be away for 10 days in Turkey with the fam. And for like the last 7 of those 10 days, my supervisor's also on annual leave. So ideally, before I go, I want to have introduction literature review and methods as close to finished drafts as I can get them, so he can give them a read before I go away. And he obviously goes away, and then when we're both back, have another meeting, review, recap what we've got, and then probably by that point it's gonna be mid-July, which will definitely be a good 6 months into the research project, which feels insane to say because simultaneously that feels like tomorrow and forever away. But at that midway point we do TAP meetings, which I can't remember what it stands for, but it's basically your supervisor, another member of staff, and you. The other member of staff as well will read what work you've done, and between the 3 of you have a conversation about it. So they're going to question you on your research, not in a horrible way, but they want to ask more questions. They're going to maybe give you some suggestions. If there's stuff that's not clear, they want you to, make it clear. So you're just basically being reviewed for your work. So in some ways, it's kind of like the closest you get at PGR is a formative assessment, which obviously is important because at the end of the degree, when you hand in your full piece of work, there's a thing called a viva. Now that's a bit more serious, but it basically means that whoever is grading your work, the Masters in Research works on a pass and fail scale. There is no in between really, other than the viva. Now the viva means they'll read it, and if they're happy with all of it, they will just pass you and like boom, you're gonna graduate. That's awesome. However, the in between scale is there's like a little adjustments, major adjustments, or full review and fail. And so on that scale, in these viva meetings, they'll talk to you about this, and then maybe even just through the meeting and some minor adjustments, they might be happy to pass you and that you're good. There might be some feedback, and then they'll be like, in 2 months' time, we're going to have our viva and we're going to talk about it. And if I don't feel like you've met the standard, you failed. And you only get that one chance to have another go, basically. Alternatively, they could read it and just literally fail you because they're like, that's too much work to fix, which hopefully that won't happen. My supervisor said he's never actually had anybody be straight up failed. He was like, the chance is you might not even end up with a viva, you might just get straight pass, which would be cool. Part of me is preparing for the medium where there's some feedback and a delayed viva, and that could, pass or fail you. But yeah, so it feels like time's going really quickly. I'm saying all this, just yapping. Can't believe I've spoken so much today. But I just need to get writing, bro. Get some words on a paper and hopefully get somewhere good with it in the next 2 weeks. Obviously, I'm at work 4 days this week, so I've got 3 days this week to work on it. Next week, I've got plans for at least 2 of the days, so I probably won't be doing any work on those, and then I'm working too. So again, that leaves me with like 3 days to work on it. So effectively, I've got 1 full week to get somewhere with this stuff, and I'm sure I will. I'm not too stressed about it, to be honest. In fact, I feel like I might have a lay down, treat myself. But yeah, that's how my meeting went. Hey all, I'm sat on the like squeaky chair stool that we've got in the bedroom right now. I've just got home from work, so happy Wednesday, I guess. I had an alright day. Again, it's just been so quiet, and I cannot stop looking at my forehead right now. I've just washed my hair, but do I look like I want to sit, re-wet it and scrunch it today? No. So I just had it in a towel for ages, and I put some oil and a bare leave-in conditioner in it. So it's just gonna look however it looks, to be honest. The fringe, I feel like I need to cut it. It's quite long at the minute. I mean, I actually just need a whole head of hair cut, to be honest. I could cut that much off, it'd probably be a good idea. But that's not today's problem, okay? So at work on Monday, we had our area manager visit, and he pointed out that I might have my nails done, and he was like, you can't be doing that. Because, you know, he is like, oh, I look nice. And I hate it, actually. Every time that anybody ever does the whole, I've noticed you've got your nails done, you can't really have your nails done for work, it's always like a really condescending, they look lovely, but you know, you're not allowed. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. So I was like, oh, that's kind of annoying, because I don't have to have a design on them, obviously, but I like having the hard gel because otherwise I bite them all off, and I've overcome it in the last year and a half, and I'm not willing to be back to the chewing. So I think basically I need to take it all off and just, I don't know, I'd probably put some of the like just plain builder gel and a clay top coat, which is really boring and sad, but it's better than cutting them all back, because I want to have some nice long nails for my holiday, obviously in a couple, was it like just over end of June, so yeah, just over 2 months, or just about 2 months. So I don't want to lose the greatness I've worked towards recently. But then to like nail in the coffin after I thought about that Monday, and I just obviously haven't had time to do it, they might have printed out a whole new like uniform thing, because they're enrolling a bunch of new shit basically into how we function in the kitchen, which apparently includes no facial piercings, and if you can't take them out you have to cover them with blue plasters. I'm not walking around with a blue plaster on my face, I'm sorry. My skin does not do well with like tacky stuff like that, especially my face. My face is so sensitive. It's not gonna happen. Just a bunch of other like minor rules I personally just feel like are pedantic, and every time they do this I'm always like, well, it was never a problem last year, so why is it now a problem? I don't really know. But all of that to say, I basically need to sort my nails out tonight. I've put some washing on and I've washed my hair, and I think that's probably the best we're going to do today, to be honest, because like my manager, she was like, what have you been told? You need to take your nail polish off. And I was like, I'm on it, but it takes me 2 hours to file it all off, and I don't know when you think I've got 2 hours free this week. And she was like, well, you need to do it. And honestly, I'd leave it till this weekend when I'm at work and just see if I can get away with it. But with like the big food audit people coming, and not just like inside the business one, but like the country's one who comes and, you know, will mark you down on these things, I would hate to end up losing those marks or something because I had a bit of nail polish on. It's honestly not even worth the hassle. Like, I've gone to a point at the minute with work where I just don't, whatever, like I don't really care. But then I'm also like, how much bodily autonomy do you lose, or like how much do they take away from you and the decisions you make about yourself? Because I'm sorry, I'm at work 16 hours a week max, generally, not this week but most weeks. However many more hours is that in the rest of the week where everything I do has nothing to do with that kitchen? Like, I don't know, it just really irritates me, but it's not actually worth getting peeved off about. So I'm just gonna figure out what I can do to make them not look like I've done them. But this is the unfortunate before, especially after it took me so long to do those stars like 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to be annoyed about it, I'm just going to go fix it. But yeah, here's the before, and I'll show you the after. Guys, I've just spent like 4.5 hours doing this. I will put actual picture, but to make them look natural. Why is it actually harder to make natural nails? Like, I'll make them look like they're natural nails. And I'm sorry, it's orange, it's because the lighting. I'll put actual pictures for you to see. So hopefully, fingers crossed, nobody notices, but I feel like all the whimsy is being removed from my life, and I'm really sad about it. Like, honestly, it feels like being back at secondary school, you know, and they're like, you can't have nose piercings, you can't have facial piercings, you can't dye your hair, you can't have nail polish, you can't wear excessive makeup. Like, actually, I may as well just go back to secondary school. I thought I was in a big girl job. I'm really disappointed. I mean, I've done a good job, don't get me wrong, but there's no fun to this, and I feel really quite annoyed about it. Happy Thursday, everybody. You're gonna have to ignore my friend. She's got a lot going on right now. But I have not done any work today. It's 8 o'clock. Honestly, I've had a very busy day of going to the supermarket, sitting in the sunshine and having a nap. But sorry, it's shaky on my legs. Usual laptop, what's it called? Laptop perspective. Jack very kindly brought me some wine. So I thought, because I didn't really deserve the sweet treat, not that you should withhold yourself from stuff because you don't deserve it, but I thought, how about I sit down and do some of my literature review while I drink my wine, and then it feels like I deserve it and it's worth it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Lost on again, obviously, because I'm on season 5 now. I'm like halfway through that, and there's only one more season left after that, so I need to finish it because I want to be able to like review it on my little notes app. And then yeah, so if anyone's got any recommendations of what to watch next, I'd appreciate it. I'm thinking Buffy the Vampire Slayer because I've never ever watched it, and it sounds really up my alley. Alternatively, Charmed. I used to watch that when I was younger, like on my TV when I was a kid. Every morning when I get ready, it was on one of like the free channels or whatever. So I used to just watch random episodes, and I used to love it. So I'm thinking I could watch it in series, and that would be quite fun. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to do some lit review now, and I'll catch up with you later. Also, you know, after the whole nail palaver where I was like, they do look quite good to be fair, where I was like, oh, I'm just sick of my job. One of the besties has just messaged me today. She said that she's handed her notice in. I've got nothing left, guys. I've actually got nothing left. So I might have downloaded Indeed as well this afternoon and refilled out my CV. Unfortunately, nothing on there that's calling my name. But I could become an actor on the Ghostbusters tour. Don't think that's really up my alley though, unfortunately. Or a stonemason at a property in the National Trust somewhere. But yeah, no, I don't think though I've got credentials for those things, so we'll keep our eyes open. Or also just keep reminding myself that I've only got like 6 more months. And then I'll be finished with uni, work, and have to get a big girl job or a PhD. So yeah, I don't know. Pros and cons, always. Hi, me again. Just wanting to say I'm having a bit of a problem with structuring my literature review, because I've kind of made a bullet points of what it needs to do, which is give context to periods of time of study and the influences that like impacted the interpretation, because then that leads me very well into my research section, which is what were the interpretations, what language was being used, what evidence was being used, how do we need to, you know, not approach it this way, or do we need to keep approaching it this way kind of vibe. So I know that my lit review needs to cover a series of influences. I've written them down as religious, colonial, evolutionary science / race science, the changing of evidence, and the changing technology. But I'm just not really sure if I should write my lit review thematically in sections, because like religious influence is probably going to be earliest period of like Neanderthal studies. Colonial influence is probably going to be right from the beginning all the way to 1950s potentially. Evolutionary science / race science, they kind of go very closely with the two other influences, you know, like evolutionary science like 1860s Darwin, but then like evolutionary science evolves into the racial science, which again prolonged probably to like the 1950s. Changing evidence is one that'll be across all time, you know, from the initial findings of Neanderthal 1 in Dusseldorf to, I don't know, what's the most recent Neanderthal found? My brain just thinks the Denisovans found in the Altai Mountains, who were genetically mix of Neanderthal and Denisovan, so arguably that is a Denisovan and a Neanderthal, so it could count. The evidence also not just being skeletal, obviously, it's artifacts. And then changing technology being how we actually approach those, you know, from craniometrics in the early periods to like full, like they call like CT scans, CAT scans, even like the science of the whole carbon dating and such, how that totally changes our approach to the evidence. I don't know. I've spoke to Jack and he said, why do you structure it out in bullet points with all your references per theme? And if you feel like that just does not flow very well, maybe try do it chronologically, like rearrange them, which feels like a faff, but I think it'll be much more productive than just sitting here looking at the screen going, I don't know what to do. So I'm going to give that a go. Happy Friday, everybody. You're going to have to ignore the mess that's my hair. I'm going to do it because we're going to go out to the pub tonight. Was a request to be there by 9 o'clock. I don't think so. Might be going out earlier than that and then leaving earlier-ish. But I'm just cooking, so I was like, there's no point me doing my hair because it's just going to smell a bit funky, so I may as well just like redo it in the shower and everything later before I go out. But yesterday, when I was at the supermarket, I intentionally bought all this stuff to try and make like a duck donburi kind of vibe at home. So I didn't end up cooking it yesterday because I had leftover food that still needed eating, and I'll be honest, I just couldn't be bothered. But I can't put it off any longer because both I bought the duck legs, which were on reduced, and they went out of date yesterday technically, but I mean they've been in the fridge all this time, so I think it should be fine. Like, I opened it and it smelled, but like I think it just smells like raw meat. Like, I don't know, and like it's in that airtight sealed packet, so I think when you open it it's gonna have a bit of a smell. Jack was like, personally I wouldn't eat it, but I don't think it smelled like off. I think it just smelled like raw meat, and I don't like the smell of raw meat ever. And even with it in the oven, like, it doesn't smell funky. I think it should be fine. I mean, fingers crossed, if I get food poisoning we can laugh at this later potentially, or not. Maybe it won't be funny at all, but we shall see. I'm gonna cook it and I'm gonna get it up to temp and I think it'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, it's like when I cooked the pork, like, even I will never cook a pork joint again because I hated how it smelled, and to me it just smelled a bit like the pork joint. Like, it was worse than raw chicken smell. It was more like a meat, and I think that's because it's duck. I don't think it's white meat, is it? I think is it kind of like red or dark meat? Like, I think that's why it smells. So I don't know, but I also was able to get like the little boxes they do with the duck hoisin sauce and wraps. That was also on reduced, so it was like £7 from £9. The duck legs I bought were like £3.70 from £5 as well, so I don't know. But I put the box of duck in the freezer, a little icebox drawer, and I'm cooking the legs today because I knew if I didn't cook them today, then yeah, I probably wouldn't cook them all because that would be quite, I think, gross. Food safety level 3 brain is saying it's probably not a good idea, but like saving money brain says I think you'll be fine if you cook it up to temp because it's been sealed, it's been in the fridge. Like, it's not like I've just had it in my backpack for 2 hours and then put it in the fridge. Like, I think it should be fine, but we'll see. We might have to do a flashback and I'm like vomiting and shit in my pants, who knows. But so I've got all this stuff out to make it. For this side, I got some carrots, and on the one that you can get at Wagamama's, they have sweet potato, but I don't know where the sweet potato is in it. It's always listed, but when I eat it I'm like, I don't see any sweet potato. So I got some carrot. I've shredded some carrot, and I also wanted mango tout. I don't know what that is. I assumed from what I looked online it's kind of like a sugar snap pea, but I don't really know how to prep that. Like, do you eat the skin? Do you just take the peas out? I'm not sure. So instead I just got some green beans because I felt like that was the second best closest thing to a pea that's not just peas out the freezer. And then obviously I bought hoisin sauce. Probably gonna put some soy sauce, brown sugar, a little bit of honey, salt, pepper, garlic. I wanted to put garlic cloves, but I ain't got any and I didn't think about that, so I'm gonna have to do garlic powder, which is kind of gross to me, but it'll do. And then a tiny splash of like vinegar. I've only got apple cider vinegar, but it'll be fine. Could be white wine vinegar is probably better, or that, like, is it shinsu wine vinegar, something like that they always use in Asian recipes, like food recipes, or like oyster sauce, but I don't got no like that, so we're working with what we've got. I'm sure I'll be fine. I just personally don't feel like you can go wrong with a bit of crispy duck rice, a fried egg, because I also bought some eggs, and like a little bit of veg. Like, it'll be fine. But yeah, so I'm just cooking that now, and then I'm gonna have to wash my hair obviously, and then probably do some more uni work. I did get quite far actually with my stuff yesterday. So my notes page is at like 68 pages and I got to page 20 where I was putting the notes in the subheadings. So I'm hoping I can finish that today before I go out, and then I'm at work Saturday and Sunday, but then might work Monday as well. I think I am actually. Tuesday I can definitely get back to writing part of that draft, so it should be fine. But it was flowing actually better than I thought it was gonna. I mean, I don't know until I write it obviously, but it felt like it made sense, so we shall just see. Right, my hair is washed and re-scrunched. I didn't shampoo it, I just reconditioned, leave-in conditioner and gelled it. I'm pretty sure there's probably quite a big cowlick at the back, but I've kind of had enough for dealing with it, to be honest, so whatever's happening back there, once again, not my problem. I'm going to do some uni work for a couple hours now. It's probably like 3 hours-ish, and then get ready to go out. So I feel like it's been a good day so far, actually, and it's so lovely outside. I think it's like 23 degrees. So I've got the balcony door open, and it's really nice. Outfit reveal. Wearing my black blouse from Urban Outfitters. Shorts, it is shorts, but it's a skirt, also from Urban Outfitters. I fear it's very short, but I'm sick of waiting for like July to wear summer clothes. And it is still 23 degrees and I'm honestly boiling, so might regret it later, but I'm feeling good to have the legs out right now. Good morning everybody, happy Saturday. I'm at work covering a shift today. So I actually didn't have to be here till 11 and it's currently 10:30. But after going out last night, might have drank too much. So I woke up around 8 o'clock this morning. There's no way I was going back to sleep. Still got a bit of a headache, but I had some fizzy orange and a leftover cheeseburger that I bought last night and didn't eat. And so yeah, now I'm just gonna sit, reconnect with nature for half an hour before I actually have to work. Drink a Red Bull, of course. And yeah, hopefully we'll see what the day's like. It's pretty nice today, so I think it's going to be busy, especially if it's bank holiday. But I guess we'll just see. Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm home from work, day 2 of 3 in a row. Today was significantly better because it was literally 10% as busy as yesterday. So significantly better. I think actually we probably served like 10 customers the whole day. So me and Grace just had a good giggle as usual. It was great. And I'm probably gonna end the vlog like now because it's Sunday, but I just wanted to have a laugh about something real quick. And it's kind of funny and it's also not. Do you know what I mean? I have seen a post going around on Instagram about how York University currently has a Restore Britain society. You know, those Nazi party? The guys who say they're like patriotic and all that stuff, but actually they just hate black people and anybody who's not like Aryan. You know, the whole shebang, basically. What was crazy about it though was that the president and the vice president are both second-year archaeology students, and I've seen people again saying about this who've been posting it, a lot of people in the archaeology community, but saying, you know, archaeology has taught us that in Britain we have forever been an island of mixing, you know, like Paleolithic people who live there here. Cheddar Man, oh my god, he was a black man, right? Black man from Cheddar Gorge who lived here, I don't know, was it like 30,000 years ago, something crazy like that, a long while ago, but he was a black man, all right? We know about how the Angles, the Romans, the Celts, you know, the Neanderthals, even if we want to go there, you know, like historically, we've just been a country which has had a group of people who live here, some more people move here. We intermix and fight about it. Then we've got a whole new mixed race. And then some more people come over. We might fucking fight about it. Then we've got a whole new mixed race. And every time this overlap happens of culture and people, at the end of it, we're still always Britain, England, United Kingdom, whatever you want to call it. This geographical location is known for being a mixing pot, and it has been since people could cross the main continent to islands, and it always has been and it always will be, and in my opinion it should always be that way. So that's the not funny bit, because I think that's absolutely disgusting that the university is allowing Restore Britain. I heard there was a Reform Society for a bit, I don't know if that's still going, but Restore Britain, I feel just, I think reform for me just comes across as like idiots, and also it's just like the billionaire capitalist mindset, white supremacy, all that shit. But Restore Britain is just mind-boggling, because what do you mean restore it? It's very much Make America Great Again, where you go, when was that again? When was it great? When are we restoring Britain to? The Romans? I don't think that's not what we would now call British culture, so I don't really know where they're going with that. They're all just a bunch of vile idiots, in my opinion. But the funny bit about all of this is in the post where they shared like their new committee members, the guy who's the president, he put like his favourite historical figure, his favourite historical quote. Cute. Why is his favourite historical figure, and I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation, but I'll put it on the screen what it is, Ian, who is a copper merchant from, I believe, is it Umma? Oh my god, my brain's blanking, but basically ancient copper merchant. And the only reason we know him archaeologically is because in his house there was a tablet which was found, which had in like Sumerian written a complaint about his company. And do you know what the complaint said? The copper he was given was subpar, it was not very good quality copper, and his customer service was shit. Is it not? There's some serious irony in a reform, restore, right-wing political groups, president's favourite historical figure to be a slimy capitalist from ancient Sumer, or wherever ancient, you are, your favourite historical figure is a capitalist from ancient times. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the apple really doesn't fall far from the tree on this one. And I reposted the thing on LinkedIn, and I was so tempted to make a joke about it. But I was like, no, I won't do it. But I'm going to do it here because, yeah, it really tickled me actually. But anyhow, I'm going to end the vlog here. I feel like it's not been a very interesting one this week. Just work, a bit of writing, like, yeah, I'm really sorry. Probably won't come back to this other than to laugh about that whole reform, restore bullshit. But I hope you enjoyed if you did watch, had a giggle here and there potentially. And I will talk to you next week probably. Thanks for watching. Love you lots. Bye bye.